Headline here is that any bank not led by Jamie Dimon has been cutting jobs this year. If you look at the big six banks who've all reported, Wells Fargo is the biggest sort of perpetrator here. They've cut about 11,000 jobs, or about 5% of their workforce, just this year alone. And you look at another one, and that's, apart from Wells Fargo, there's also Goldman Sachs. And both of these institutions have had these, businesses that are hit into the wall of high interest rates.
上半年吹起科技业裁员风潮，下半年换成银行金融业遭殃，大批高薪白领阶层丢了工作。银行金融产业招聘职缺少了40%，科技业更少了50%。
There are some higher income households that their budgets are significantly stretched. They have leaned against credit to kind of bridge that gap. Household debt has gone up. In particular, credit card debt.
挥之不去的通膨阴霾，联准会高强度的升息，再加上裁员，喊了好久的经济衰退似乎是近在眼前。
We're in a scenario where we have a stagflationary environment. I think the economy is going to cool off. I think we'll have a recession by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And we'll still have rising food prices and rising energy prices. And unfortunately, the Fed's monetary policy just can't change that.
只是这一次的衰退冲击到的族群跟以往不太一样，光是去年美国就少了180万个百万富豪，原因就是股市表现不佳。去年 S&P 500指数就跌掉19%，高收入族群对薪资的安全感明显降低，这群富豪开始感受到资产缩水。
The biggest engine for wealth creation in the world, the driver of wealth, is the stock market. It is also the driver of wealth destruction.
相对于美国一般劳动市场持续看好，蓝领阶层所得持续看涨，高薪阶级的冲击显得更加明显。专家说，这就是所谓的富人衰退。
2022 was a year where the stock market was down very sharply, and we started to see home prices turn south, particularly in some of those hot markets where tech jobs, had helped drive those prices up. As the tech sector cooled, you started to see prices fall. So that had a pronounced impact on the net worth of a lot of households in 2022. Some of that has come back in 2023 as markets have rebounded, not quite to the record levels seen at the beginning of 2022, but a hearty rebound nonetheless.
虽然今年夏天一度出现牛市行情，但受到债券殖利率飙升，还有利率长期走高的打击，股市表现不理想。这些资产大半都靠股市的富豪们，自然也跟着灰头土脸。从精品业的消费就可以窥见一二。
The second quarter for all the luxury companies saw something we hadn't seen at least since pre-pandemic, which was a decline in U.S. sales. Not just slower growth, but an actual decline. LVMH, which is the giant, they always succeed. They actually reported a surprise 1% drop in U.S. sales. No one expected that. That followed Richemont, which owns Cartier, lots of other brands, reporting a 4% drop in the U.S.
美国的经济大量仰赖消费者支出，50%的消费额都是由收入前20%的族群贡献。当这些富豪捏紧钱包的同时，美国经济也在受到冲击。
Some people say we could have a weak stock market for a long time because interest rates are so high. That would mean that there's not going to be much wealth creation, may not be much wealth destruction, but unless you're adding wealth, unless you're growing millionaires, all those companies that survive based on rich people spending, whether it's luxury real estate, whether it's luxury fashion, whether it's boats, cars, planes, all those companies are going to see slower growth because they're all driven by the stock market.
但财经专家认为，这样的情况并不会维持太久。这些富豪适时调整财富配置，在股市低点逢低买进，当景气复苏，就能再大赚一笔，甚至可以翻倍。不过，相关产业就得熬过这段富豪消费降低的阵痛期。TVBS新闻综合报道。
想看最完整的新闻内容，记得下载TVBS新闻网 APP。